Hi guys, today we're going to be working in the front flower bed. I've got a couple perennials that I need to shift around and make a little bit of room because we're going to be planting a tree, a conifer actually. So the other day, Mo and I went to the garden center because he hasn't been with me in a while, and every time I go up there, I come back with these really unique trees and stuff. So he wanted to go take a look around and see if anything struck his fancy. So we went, walked around for a couple hours, had coffee. It was just a very nice, relaxing morning, and I ended up with a weeping white spruce, which is what we're going to be planting today. But I also got my hands on an oak leaf hydrangea, which is coming out next year, and I don't know how I got a hold of it, but I did, so I'm really excited about that. We'll be planting that in another video when we do some more perennial cleanup and stuff like that. But today, all we're going to be doing is making a little bit of room in the front flower bed corner over here so we can get this tree in the ground, because it is really nice out right now, but we dropped in temperature. We were at 70 degrees the other day, and now we're down to a high of 41. And it's windy, it's cold, and tonight we're supposed to get our first hard freeze. We're supposed to go down to 28. So I really want to get this tree in the ground before that hard frost. Even though it can handle it, I would feel more comfortable if it were in the ground. So today's project is going to be pretty quick. Couple little shifting around of perennials and planting a tree. This is what we're planting today. This is a weeping white spruce, and isn't it beautiful, you guys? So this is from Iseli, and you know I love Iseli trees. I think they're just gorgeous, and look at this. When it's mature, look how beautiful that is. I actually have one of these in the backyard in a container. It's the one that we rescued and we're kind of nursing back to health a little bit. It's got a little bit of like a fungal canker thing going on around the base of the trunk, but it is a bigger specimen. I just don't feel comfortable putting it in the landscape right now. And when I saw this one, I was like, oh, this one looks so healthy and beautiful. And I was like, I know what? I've got the perfect spot for it. It's going right where that pumpkin is. So initially in this bed, I wanted to keep everything a little bit on the low side just because I didn't want to block the view from the windows. So everything in here pretty much gets anywhere from 3 to 4 feet tall. So it's not going to block the windows. The one thing about this bed that made me a little bit hesitant in planting something with a little bit more height is the fact that we have like our cable lines and everything right up there. So I didn't want to plant something that gets super huge and could potentially interfere with all of that. I would love to have maybe like a crabapple or something in here, but again, they get a little too big and wide for my comfort level. The thing I like about the weeping white spruce, while it gets 12 to 15 feet tall, it only gets 3 to 4 feet wide at maturity, and that's primarily focused at the base, closer to the ground. So while it will provide quite a bit of height in this area, I'm not too worried about it infringing on the cable lines because it grows in like a more conical shape. So as you get closer down towards the base, it gets wider and wider. So I feel comfortable planting it in this bed and not worrying too much about the overhead cable lines. But I'm just so excited to be getting this in the ground. It is just a gorgeous specimen tree. So this grows 6 to 12 inches per year, 15 feet tall, up to 4 feet wide, and it's hardy down to -50. It likes full sun, and it does prefer a slightly acidic, a little sandy, well-draining soil. We have amended this bed quite a bit over the years. It was clay, but we've added lots of compost and fertilizer in here. I did bring out some more compost over here. So when we do clean this area up and get the hole dug, I'm going to amend it with a little bit more compost just so we can kind of help the drainage and everything, because again, this does like consistent, well-draining soil, but it doesn't like heavy clay. It doesn't like boggy, wet conditions. It wants to get its drink of water and then drain out, dry out, and then get watered all over again. This is where we're going to be planting, so I'm going to find a new spot for the pumpkin, and these are the two perennials that I need to transplant. This is pink profusion salvia, and I don't know why in the middle of November that it's blooming again, but I'm not too worried about it. But you can see I didn't cut it back the last time, thinking that our fall would end early, but it's got quite a bit of dead on here. And I'm not too worried about cleaning up this area or whatnot. Again, we're supposed to have our first hard freeze tomorrow, so I'll probably come out and check on everything, and we may be doing a cleanup pretty soon. But I am gonna cut this back, these two back, and dig them up, put them in a nursery container until I figure out where exactly I wanna position them, and then we'll dig our hole. I'm gonna be using the shovel for this because we're only digging one hole and it's close to the walkway, so I really don't want the auger kicking up a whole bunch of dirt. I'm gonna try not to make a mess, but you never know. I've got our starter fertilizer, compost, so we can amend the soil a little bit. It is pretty breezy out right now and the sun feels good. While it is only 42 degrees out, that wind is a little bone chilling, but the sun is kind of warming me up a little, so I'm really glad to be out here. It feels really good. So I'm just gonna go through, get these perennials dug up, transplanted, get our hole dug, our tree planted, and then I'll come back around and show you how it all looks. I love these quick, fun little projects. Here we go. my gosh, this looks so good. I love it. Right here on this corner. Look, what do you guys think? I know Shuey is itching to come look at it. Come on, Wiggle Butt. Hi, you see the new tree? Shushu, what's that? Come here, what is that? It's a new tree. The bees love this. I was swatting bees all over the place. I wonder why, but look at this, you guys. We have an Iseli Weeping White Spruce in the front flower bed. And I planted it right on the corner here because I want it to be a specimen tree. This is just going to be a just beautiful pillar of height, weeping. And you might think, why didn't you plant it back in the back and then you could plant more lower things in the front? Well, a couple reasons. One, we have the green tower boxwoods, which I like there. And we have the downspout drain right here, which kind of comes diagonally to here. So this whole area is kind of, don't want to plant a tree right next to the downspout if I can avoid it. Plus, I like this front and center. Look at that. Oh, that is so good. I love it. It looks so good, you guys. And I love it in front of the Scentlandia sweet spires. Look at these things. They are in peak fall color. This one's a little bit behind because it does get a little bit more shade from the crepe myrtle, but look. Ooh, those colors are amazing. And we do have another spruce right here. We have our dwarf blue spruce, and we got the, look at this, playing the blue salvia. Middle of November, looking gorgeous. And then if I back away, here's what the whole bed looks like with the weeping white spruce. That just brings such a focal point right there on the corner. I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Can you see the bees buzzing around it? Look at that, that's a yellow jacket going in there. Don't try and make a nest there. Here's what it looks like when you're walking from the backyard towards the front. Coming towards the driveway. Oh, look at that. And just imagine that twice as high. That's gonna look so good. The one thing I made sure of when I planted it was I planted it about 3 inches higher. I amended the soil with land and sea compost. I added a bunch of biotone starter fertilizer, and I amended it with a little bit of the native clay soil, mixed it all in and backfilled it. And I created a mound right up by the trunk and just kind of sloped it away so any water that gets anywhere near there will naturally just flow away from the center of the tree. Because again, these trees like pretty sandy, loamy, well-draining soil, and we have clay soil here, so we're gonna have to baby it for a little bit. And I also did tease the roots quite a bit. It took quite a bit of oomph to get it out of its container, and that's because it was root bound. The roots were circling, so I just kind of teased them all the way around, and then at the bottom I just kind of fanned them out a little bit and got it planted, watered in, and now we're just sitting here admiring it because it looks so good, you guys. It is just beautiful. And as this grows, I will add more, like another bamboo stake or a green garden stake, and just keep staking it up. If you wanted to, you could unstake it and then just let it kind of do its thing. It does have a tendency to want to grow upright, but it can kind of curve and meander throughout. So again, every single one of these is unique in its shape. And that's whether you train it straight or let it go wild. And Honestly, I wouldn't mind having a few more of these and training them upright and then just letting a couple more do whatever they wanted to do. And that way we could just kind of walk around and just admire them all in all of their uniqueness and their beautiful color and shape. Oh, you guys. So to recap, these grow 12 to 15 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide, and that's usually like the 10-year mark. They will continue to grow little by little. They grow 6 to 12 inches per year. They're like full sun, very, very well draining, slightly acidic soil, and full sun. Did I mention full sun? I think I did. Full sun. So I think we can provide conditions to where it will be happy. And I'm really glad that we were able to get it in the ground before we had our first frost. While they can handle temps down to -50, I feel a little better just knowing that the root ball is in the ground as opposed to in a container. So just stay tuned, guys, because I will provide updates on this tree. And I love it. Absolutely love it. And I never used to like weeping trees. And I don't know, the last few years, I've fallen in love with them. They're so beautiful. We gotta take one last look. Walking from the front porch down towards the driveway. Oh, that looks so good. And then standing back, getting a full view of the whole garden bed. Oh, you guys, that just looks so good there. And it'll also provide a little bit of privacy right through there. So yeah, all in all, a very, very successful day, and I'm so happy that we planted this. I love days like this, quick, easy planting projects and instant impact. Oh, we needed a little bit of that. We just got it today. And you guys, that is it for our video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.